used to describe the team before there were any losses was robotic, and you use it in a very good way. You're saying a lot of the same things about their practice habits and the way they go about their business. Is there any? Do you feel more certain now?
No.
Okay.
So in the end, everybody wants to define the year, and we've played 3 games, and
Right.
and that's why I hate even last year. Everybody, you said all these things, and then boom, you didn't do it. Well, you know what? We'll see. And so from now on, I'm not going to answer those type of questions. I'm just kidding. I'll do my best, but in the end, you've just got to get better. You've got to prove it each week, and you may be at one week, you got to do it the next week, and so it's not easy to do. I think that's pretty obvious. You just got to keep grinding, and hopefully your players keep the right attitude and work habits and go into the game with the right approach each week.
Is that a way of saying that as a coach you can never completely know? I mean, you can feel good, you can. But
well, in the end, sure, they're the ones that play, and when they show up, they're the ones that inside know whether they're truly ready or not, and they're the ones that have to do it, and so you have a certain gut feeling towards it, but sometimes it can be wrong.
Bob, when you look at the down linemen, do you expect to play 3 guys primarily in the rotation? And first of all, do you expect Granger back this year?
I expect him back this year. Everyone's going to want to know a timetable, and I don't have one. But Cordero Moore has a chance to play in there some too, and he has come on. He has made good improvement, and we have been close to playing him all year, so he'll definitely have some time.
What makes you sound so certain on Granger coming back? Because I guess he was close to surgery.
Just because there was always a good chance if he didn't have surgery to be back. So, you knock wood, and hopefully that's how it'll go.
Have you brought up the TCU game from 2005 at all with your team?
Oh, yeah. It's pretty obvious. Well, I think just to understand it. Look, this is how well they played, and this is how they beat us, and you need to understand that we've obviously got to perform a whole lot better to have a chance to win.
Is that a sense that TCU in 2005 didn't kind of sneaking up on anybody?
I don't believe that.
No?
Who were we to? I mean, we had a whole bunch of guys hadn't done anything. So they didn't have, I don't know who they would have been to, TCU had a really good football team and put it to us.
Coach, the no huddle, does that limit you in any way on plays you can call?
No.
Bob, have you, is R.J. Washington still on the May play list?
Yeah, he's so close, but what some people, I don't know, what's hard about it is all that we do defensively. If you just play the 4-3, let those guys get wide and go, then he'd be in there. There's just so much when you zone blitz, who's dropping, who's blitzing, where you blitzing, is he twisting around somebody, is he going straight? And then RJ's a bright young guy and is doing great, but we're probably just a little bit too complex in that all that we ask these guys to do and know we just fear that we're going to play them, and then through the whole year it's not going to be enough, to warrant giving up his year. It's just one of those things that we're practicing them with the 1s and 2s, getting them some snaps, but and we feel Frank will be back fairly soon. That is he going to be ahead of him and all that we ask these guys to do, and again, we just don't want to burn his year and not warrant it and give him enough snaps to where it's the right thing to do. So it's been tough that way, but RJ got a great attitude, works hard, and you never know through the year what all is going to happen with injuries and all. So knock wood.
Bob, are you curious how this team would respond in a game where you either trail or you really have to go play more so than these first games
well,
have been
I
won?
think everybody's curious about that until you've done it. Sure, but I don't think we're any different than anyone else that hasn't been in that kind of a position. So
Matt?
Your Saturday off, did you get to watch some football, and if so, did you enjoy watching Mike take it to UCLA pretty good?
You know, I did watch football like everybody else. I peek at Mike's games. I have a hard time just staying to watching the entire thing. And it's always been that way, just because you're so connected. You know, not just Mike, but my brother Mark as well. So, and I figure it's my day off. Why in the world am I going to act like I'm playing a game again? You know, so because you can't, the same kind of emotions and stress and, you know, and thought you're thinking all the time, and it just, you know, so I just kind of spot check it, and obviously I watched the last 5 minutes probably, you know, or once I peeked and saw where it was, I finished watching it. So,
Bob, back to that question about being curious how your team will respond. Would you think that playing a TCU team that's pretty good, like it looks pretty good,
really good,
will be
it's a huge test.
Is good for you though as you get ready to head into conference?
Yeah, it's a good way of putting it. Heading into conference, this is a big game, and a team that's playing great and always does. You know, you look at them; they're consistently good. So it is a big factor going into the conference play of how you're going to play and meet those challenges.
Speaking of the conference, pretty impressive, the teams, how they've done thus far.
Seems that way. I don't sit there and tally them up like everyone does. I don't. But watching, you know, other teams, there's a lot of really good teams that are playing well for sure, and so. But I expected that. I think so did everyone else.
Well, what do you think about your return game, both in punts and kick returns so far? Are you pretty satisfied with it?
No, I think kickoff returns, the ones we've had a penalty or two. We can be better. Though, you know, our average is probably up there with most people, but I still don't. It's not where we were a year ago. We led the country a year ago, and I just think we're overall more consistent with it. So that hopefully we've worked it hard here through these last week or so. And then punt returns, same thing. I think some of that too is what are your opportunities? You know, the way some people kick it, and we had a couple at Washington that really weren't able to get to. So that needs to be better though. Hopefully, you know, as we go, it will be. Ryan had one nice return, but overall, I don't know that we've had a bunch of good chances either.
Some guys will be involved.
Yeah, we'll get, you know, Ryan more as we go here.
You're able to get through the Big 12 like you hope you will. Won't the conference's power rating help you?
Oh, I would think. I don't know how it wouldn't, but you know, that's so far from now. We'll see how everybody keeps playing, but the conference is really strong, and I think everyone realizes that this year, and so I don't know how it wouldn't.
Well, I think some people think strength of schedule doesn't matter, but it does matter.
Well, you watch. At the end of the year, it didn't. Last year, everybody's ranked according to losses.
Say you, Florida, USC are undefeated. USC's
I'm not going there. You go there. You guys start that. It's like 3 weeks earlier every year.
Okay. Let's say Florida, USC, and a Big 12 team are undefeated.
I'm not going there.
USC is going to be hurt by a weak Pac-10.
I doubt it. You know, they've been a strong team, and so I don't know how it'll all play out.
Bob, the Big 12 kind of goes 4 weeks before it starts conference play, whereas Pac-10 and the SEC this last weekend they had conference matchups. Would the Big 12 maybe benefit from moving that opening week of conference up for the national exposure? I mean, a lot of people were talking about the SEC.
Probably. That's probably it's a fair point. To instead of having all your early, you know, your non-conference games be in the first 4 weeks or so, to have, you know, everyone play one earlier. You would think so. You get them start talking about your league sooner and who's playing who. But that's a fair point. And I think even for your home crowds, to have a conference game somewhere in those first 3-4 weeks would be exciting, or sometimes more exciting than who you're playing non-conference.
Big 3 weeks, I mean, is that a pretty good barometer to get a team ready for a conference game, or is 2 weeks enough?
No, I'd prefer 3, but, you know, sometimes sometimes two's enough depending on the, how many guys you have coming back.
Would you like to do that here? Play or
I don't, I'd be open to it. I mean,
you've always talked about, preseason and then getting ready for the conference season.
yeah, but again, I see the benefits for your crowd, for media and fan interest and just college football's interest, to have a conference game somewhere in there early.
Bob, did you get a chance to look at some other schemes, say a team like Texas during the off week?
Well, Baylor and Texas, just, you look at them and you make some plans and to some degree so that's just natural though. Everybody that has an off week does that to some degree.